name is Vanessa van Dijk, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use Good Molecules Niacinamide Brightening Toner, which contains 3% of niacinamide, 2% of arbutin, we have a bit of ethylated ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C, and lastly licorice. So this is a great brightening combination, as the name it already says, so you can use this toner on all skin types daily in the morning and or evening. Just make sure that you understand this properly, that this is a treatment toner that should help to reduce the discoloration. Now your discoloration may be caused due to previous acne, as I do have currently as well. This may be caused due to sun damaged skin, you want to reduce your freckles, or in general just uneven patches for a more even complexion. So this is what this toner is used for. You can use it on its own or use it along with any other skincare products which you may be currently using that are targeting your skin concerns. That's fine as well. So I have prepared for you an example morning and evening skincare routine which keeps the focus on discoloration, on how you can reduce it, what treatments you can pick, and how you would use it in the skincare routine. And then later on I want to share with you the entire application. So let's get started with a morning skincare routine, which you can see right here. So you're going to get started with properly washing your face. This is the most important step. Please do not skip this. Now use your regular liquid cleanser that's suitable for your skin type, or maybe a bar of soap. As you can see right here in my examples, I wanted to work with Good Molecules bar of soaps. They are ideal for this combination and they just work just as fine as your regular liquid cleanser. Then after that you can move on to your brightening toner as a second step, and then you're going to head into, as an optional step, into additional treatments which you may have at home. You can see some examples right here. And then lastly, you would protect the skin with a sunscreen if you have sun exposure, because you do not want to make your discoloration worse. You want to protect the skin from the damaging UV rays, as well as that the treatments that you just have applied can get to work, so that they're not going to get irritated with the sun exposure. Therefore again, don't forget your sunscreen throughout the day. As for your evening skincare routine, I came up with two example routines. The first one is basically the same as the morning skincare routine, by just using a moisturizer as your last step if you feel the need, instead of your sunscreen. As for the second evening skincare routine, if you like to, you can work with an exfoliating acid serum as well, and then use it after your toning step before applying any other treatments. Now what you have to keep in mind is that when going with your evening skincare routine is again to properly wash your face. Depending on what you have worn throughout the day, like based on the sunscreen that you have picked, maybe even makeup that you have worn throughout the day, you can remove it with your regular liquid cleanser or bar of soap. Otherwise, choose an oil or balm cleanser or use it on its own, or you may want to do a double cleanse so that you can properly break it down before heading into your leave-on products. So your cleansing step is essential. Now, if you want to go over the example routine in your own time, you want to recreate it at home as it targets a discoloration. This is what I wanted to keep my focus on. You want to see what products that I have picked. You want to see a great sunscreen guide as well as some general skincare tips. You will have all that information in my PowerPoint, which I'm going to leave in the description box down below. Now I want to get started with the entire application. I'm going to recreate the morning skincare routine that I've just demonstrated so that you can see how you would use the products, how much you're going to use, as well as some little tips in between. So we're going to get started with the first step, which again is your cleansing step. I'm going to use Good Molecules Clarify and Cleanse bar of soap, which is more suitable if you have an oily or blemish prone skin. If you have a drier skin type, or you do not really have any blemish concerns, you can also go with the other bar of soap. So both are amazing to properly wash your face. Now what you have to keep in mind is to keep your soap holder clean. Make sure that whenever you have used the soap, that you can store it at a dry place so that it can properly dry, that there's no growth of bacteria, because that's the only concern that can arise. So keeping it clean and dry is the most important point. Other than that, there's no difference between your liquid cleanser or even your solid bar of soap. It's basically the same, just in a different form. And so I'm now going to get started with properly washing the face. I'm going to include this step. This is the most crucial step. I want to show you the entire routine from the beginning to the end so that you can recreate it at home. So when working with your cleanser, whenever you're using water, make sure if you can to use lukewarm water to warm water. So this can be done above the sink or in the shower. Either way is fine. When doing this above the sink, what I always like to do in between is to work with a soft, clean microfiber washcloth. that I'm going to wet, then squeeze it out and then swipe it across my face so that I can properly remove any last traces of maybe my cleanser or even the sunscreen and or makeup, so that I can properly wash my face before heading into the next steps. And so this is now what I'm going to do, so let's get started. So now go ahead and take a clean towel and gently pat all over to remove the excess water from the skin surface. So now once you're done with your cleansing step, you can move on to the brightening toner, which you can apply with a cotton pad or with your hands. When doing the application, make sure to avoid your eyelids as well as your lips. I'm going to show you how much you're going to use when using it with a cotton pad, as well as then later on with your hands. So when using it on a cotton pad, you want to make sure that it's nicely damp, but not dripping wet. So make sure that you're going to dispense the product evenly, that you can feel that it's nicely damp, so that you have enough product to blend it evenly all over your face and neck. And then you just would gently swipe it across, and then there you have it. If you now say that you want to use it with your hands instead, that's completely fine as well. This is a method that I prefer to do too, because then I'm going to make sure that I can reduce the waste of product, because the cotton pad usually absorbs quite a lot of it. And so when using it with your hands, use between 7 to 10 drops, more or less around that area. This is just an overall general guide, so that you can apply it evenly and thinly all over your face and neck, and that you're not going to overdo it at the same time. Then rub your hands together and then blend it evenly all over your face and neck. So once you have blended it all over, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. And now if you like to, as an optional step, you can include an additional treatment. So as an example, I'm going to go with the discoloration correcting serum. Now if you're going to use that one, don't forget to give it a good shake. But as another example, I do have the niacinamide serum as well. So either one of them would be fine. And when it comes to how much you're going to use, well, with this serum, I usually like to go with 5 drops, which is enough for my entire face and neck. Again, you want to make sure that you can apply an even and thin layer all over that absorbs quickly into the skin, so that you won't come across any layering issues, or that you won't come across that it feels uncomfortable on the skin. And so when doing the application, again, make sure to avoid your eyelids as well as your lips. So you can dispense the drops in the palm of your hand, fingertips, or immediately to your face, whatever method you prefer, go ahead and do so. And then blend it evenly all over. So once you're done with the application of your treatment, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Now, if you like to, in between, depending on what treatment you have used, your hands feel a bit sticky, then you can always go ahead and wash them quickly in between before then moving on to the next treatment, or maybe your moisturizer in the evening or sunscreen during daytime. So when it comes to your evening skincare routine, you can, if you like to and if you feel the need, follow with a moisturizer as your last step. And I'm going to show you the amount, but I'm not going to apply to the skin because I'm going to go with my morning skincare routine. Still, if you're going to use a moisturizer, make sure that it's suitable for your skin type. Right here I have Geek and Gorgeous Hydration Station, which is great for all skin types, but ideally if you have an oilier skin type. So use about a pea size to a bean size amount, more or less, so that you can apply it evenly all over and that you're making sure that it's not going to cause a thick layer. Just make sure that it's even and thinly blended, and then there you have it. And this would be the last step in your evening skincare routine. And again, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. As for your morning skincare routine, sunscreen is really important. You can go ahead and use a moisturizer before applying your sunscreen, but based on the way how I always like to recommend it is that you're going to skip your usual moisturizer in your morning skincare routine, because your sunscreen should theoretically already contain hydrating ingredients. I mean, you can get sunscreen gels, lotions, creams. They are available on the market, so that you can choose the one for your skin type as well as to properly protect the skin. So that you do not need to layer too many products after one another, but that you have already the correct sunscreen for your skin type as well as for your needs. And so this is the idea behind my example routines when I'm setting them up. So now in the morning I'm going to follow with a sunscreen. So as an example, I have right here Niacinamide Survival 30, which is a great mineral sunscreen with a natural tint. I'm going to give it a good shake. And then as a general guide, apply 10 to 15 minutes before sun exposure and use about half a teaspoon for your face, neck as well as ears, about 1 teaspoon if you want to include your décolletage. So this can be more or less adjusted. If you feel like it's too much, reduce it. If you feel like it's not enough, add a bit more to it. It of course depends on the size of your face too and the area that you want to cover. So now I have half a teaspoon right here. This just should give you a visual guide so that you know how much you're going to use, more or less. And I'm going to dispense it in the palm of my hand. And then I'm going to blend it evenly all over. So I'm going to keep the focus with that amount on my face, neck and ears. And I'm also going to apply the sunscreen around my eyes. So if you're using a sunscreen that does not cause any sensitivity, you can use it around the eyes. Just again, make sure to not get it into your eyes, nor into your mouth. If your sunscreen should cause sensitivity, avoid the eye area, use sunglasses instead, or maybe exchange the sunscreen so that you can use it around the eyes. So, and once you have applied it all over, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. And this is the last step in your morning skincare routine. And so here you have an example morning skincare routine that you can follow by including Good Molecules Brightening Toner as well as additional treatments if you would like to add them. If again you want to go over the example routine, I want to remind you it's all in the description box. If you now want to learn more about skincare, you are maybe also curious about Good Molecules products, I'm going to leave some of the videos at the end of this video. Otherwise, feel free to check out my YouTube channel. And I do hope that you enjoyed it. If you did so, don't forget to give the thumbs up as well as share it with your friends, and I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring. Bye.